Hey everybody, NicMakesPlays here. Today I'm going to go over my new Nightfall deck. So Nightfall's a deck I've got rank 1 with in the past. Multiple different seasons. A lot of people, when Nightfall came out, said it wasn't very good. I played it day 1, and I said, okay, I feel like there's a lot to this deck. I'm not playing it that great, but I feel the potential. And I didn't write it off, and again, I ended up taking it to pretty far heights, so I definitely want to re-up what my current build of Nightfall is, now that I have a new card onto Dusk. I try to play new stuff every season, so I've mostly been playing only Shrima the whole season. I haven't played like many of the old tier 1 decks like Twisted Fate, Fearless, stuff like that. I like to really keep it fresh. So Nightfall's a deck I played briefly this season, but I still love it. It's a lot of fun. So I'm going to go into how I would play it. I also think it is very good. I think Nightfall's actually in a better spot than it is a lot of time. It's a super, super solid deck right now. So let's get into it. Alright. I won't go over Nightfall entirely. I do have like 3 other Nightfall guides. One of them is a shorter one. I think it's only 16 minutes. And that one is after Mountain Goat got buffed. That one is pretty much the one you want to go in. If you want an in-depth Nightfall guide, I have an hour-long, like, you know everything about Nightfall guide. It's after I hit rank 1 with it. I kind of made like this is like the master guide. But this one, I'll just kind of keep briefish and just go over the new stuff and the general idea of how to play the deck. Alright, so I guess I'll start with the mulligan and what the deck does. I'll do what the deck does first. So the deck uses the Nightfall keyword, hence the word Nightfall, or the deck name Nightfall. Bonus, this is not the first card you played this round. So you want to play these cards the second card, or just anything besides the first card. You have cards that activate Nightfall, such as Lunari Dustbringer, Solari Soldier, the Flight, like very cheap, easy cards to use. And then you want to play these as your first cards for the turn. So then the rest of your cards get the Nightfall effects, such as Stygian, Crescent Guardian, Doom Beast, Nocturne, Cygnus, stuff like that. So the deck is, in my opinion, a mid-range deck because it's so well-rounded. Usually you'll play pretty passive-ish at the beginning, depending on your hand, and then you can explode out of nowhere. You can play it kind of smooth, just controlling the game. You know, get some chips with Crescent Guardian and our Shadestalker, and then out of nowhere you can pop off and kill them. Usually this is the card that does a lot of the damage. So it's a deck that can play chill when it needs to chill, fast when it needs to be fast, and it can generate card advantage when it needs to also. So very good. How you mulligan is you want to mulligan always for, what I do at least, Lunari Dustbringer or Solari Soldier, because these are your Nightfall activators. Diana's usually good as well, so Dustbringer, Solari Soldier, Diana is what I usually always mulligan for. The Flight's a card I'm testing out. I'll explain when we get there, but okay, let's go right into the deck now. 3 Lunari Dustbringer, 1 mana 2/1, so this activates Nightfall. It's an easy 1 mana card. That gives you a Dust Petal. This is another Nightfall activator. So it's a Nightfall activator that gives you a Nightfall activator. The next unit of Nightfall you play this round costs 1 less. This is very good. It basically transforms your spell mana into unit mana because this costs spells, and then it discounts the unit by 1, so it's pretty cool. This card is what you pretty much always want at the beginning of the game because it can set you up to have Nightfall activators the rest of the game. Next card, Solari Soldier. This is a 1 mana 3/3 basically. Daybreak, give me +1/+1 this round. 3 health's huge against a lot of matchups like decks with Avalanche. And in general, just as a blocker, it's really annoying. You can play a 1 mana 3/3 and you can trade with their 3 health or 3 cost units and 3 health units. Stuff like that. So Solari Soldier is generically good on offense and defense, and I usually want to use this as my Daybreak. I use this Daybreak to be my Nightfall activator, so very good. Next card, Stygian Onlooker. This is where you pack the damage on. A lot of times people consider this an aggro deck. I honestly think it only looks like an aggro deck when you draw Stygian Onlooker, so I guess this is the aggressive portion, or one of the main aggressive portions of the deck. So Nightfall, give me +2/+0 and Fearsome this round. Becomes a 4/1 Fearsome for 1. Off Stalking Shadows, you can get 2 of these and push for 8 damage for 2 mana. A lot of times in the early game, if you go like so you're going second. Turn 1, Lunari Dustbringer. And then that's a 2/1. And then turn 2, you can play Solari Soldier into this, and you're packing on huge damage. And then it would look like an aggro deck in that instance. So this is kind of like your main damager. What I want to say with this card is you want to hold it till the end of your turn, like the last action. You don't want to let your opponent know you can burst for 1 mana for potential damage, right? So the thing is, usually if your opponent has you at 1 mana, they're probably thinking, okay, he only has 1 mana. Or like say 2 mana only has 2 mana. You can't really do that much. Like you don't want them to know you can just burst for huge damage. This is kind of like your last thing to like out of nowhere like sneak attack them and push for huge damage, and that's really, really pivotal in making sure that these go through. Is kind of keep them guessing, do they have Stygian Onlooker, do they not have Stygian Onlooker? So you want to hold this till like near the end of the turn. Next is the Flight. So this card I'm testing out. Usually I run Fading Memories, but this card's decent. I want to go over how I play this card. I think that I played a bit differently than most people, and it's just the way I see the card, I guess. So let's just read it real quick. 1 mana, 2/1, elusive, Nexus Strike, draw 1, shuffle me in the top 3 cards of your deck. Alright, so let's go over why this card is flawed and why it's strong. Alright, so if you open this turn 1, you're going first. If you attack with it, you're just losing a card. Like, you paid 1 for the flight, and it just goes away from the field. Yes, you are refueling by drawing another card, but you pay, like, it's important to have field control in Runeterra. So if you pay 1 mana just to have your card leave the field by itself, you're just losing, like, the mana you paid, basically. Like, it doesn't matter you draw another card. Like, you don't attack this turn 1, is what I'm trying to say. I don't attack with this card. This is actually more of a defensive card. It being elusive allows it to block elusives, which is very good. I usually won't attack this the first few turns. I want to hold this to where I'm making a strong offensive strike and it's worth attacking with, right? You keep on defense, you can block Fizz, Zoe, you can just block non-elusive units, whatever. But later in the game, if you're attacking with, like, as I said, double staging Onlooker, then that's a good time to pack on 2 more damage, right? Because you're putting the pressure. So I kind of leave this here as like an elusive blocker. The reason why this card's good, besides costing 1 for the Nightfall Activator, is how it is off Stalking Shadows. Let's just go over that real quick. Where's Stalking Shadows? Stalking Shadows. Pick a follower from the top 4 cards in your deck. Draw it. Place the rest into your deck, then create an exact ephemeral copy in hand. Alright? Alright, so this card. If it's ephemeral, those cards die when they strike or at the end of the turn. It actually has its effect happen first, so you actually draw a card. So if you get an ephemeral copy of this with Stalking Shadows, it's like a real copy because you draw a card, it won't die. Which is really good. That's one of the big perks of the card, right? So I usually use it in the early game as a defender. I only want to attack with it when I already have field control because it's important not to just throw that away. And then it's really powerful if it's an ephemeral. So I guess my main point here is don't attack with this until the time's right. It's just used as a 1 mana activator that is good to block elusives and can push when you need to push, can generate card advantage off the Stalking Shadows and stuff like that. Alright, so that's the flight. I just don't want you guys to like play this and then like -1 yourselves on field control and then be in a bad spot. So that's how you use it in a good way to make it good. Next is Diana. This card is absolutely amazing. Diana is always underrated for some reason. Since she came out, people thought she was like average. I mean, some people thought she was good, but a lot of people thought she was average and not that good. Even now, when I make my champion tier list, people are like, "I think you're overing Diana," and I'm just like, I just don't know if we're looking at the same card. I guess we just look at the card differently. This card's great. This card is absolutely freaking amazing, dude. So quick attack, and then Nightfall give me Challenger. So it's a removal. It's already a removal. It's already a +1 by itself. Like you play it, you kill their like Mountain Goat or whoever has 2 health, and you get a free +1. You played a Diana, you killed their card. They lost a card, you lost nothing. +1. Okay, so very easy, right? Now its level up is also insane. We need to keep in mind this card costs 2 mana. Okay, so it's not like you're paying a lot for this. Nightfall, when you activate another Nightfall, give me +2/+0 and Challenger this round. It is very easy in a Nightfall deck to get like 7+ attack with this card. You can kill big units with quick attack Challenger, dude. So like they have Gangplank, right? Or they have like whatever, Trundle or something, and you just kill it with a 2 mana card, but you're not even trading it. It's not even a trade, you're killing it, and then your Dyna stays alive. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. So I think this card's very good, as you can see. So, yeah, I like Diana a lot. I think that her 2 mana form is amazing in the early game. I think that her level up form is very good. I'll get into how On to Dusk makes her even better when we get to On to Dusk. But yeah, this card is pretty good. Very strong. Her chance was also Pale Cascade, one of Targon's best cards out of the whole region, Targon's best region in the game. So, yes, this card did get nerfed, but it's still a phenomenal card. It's still amazing. So she has good level 1, good level 2, and an amazing chance spell. So I think very highly of Diana. Again, I always want a mulligan for her. I don't mulligan like hard for her, but I would like to see her in my mulligan. I see these most importantly because you need the Nightfall activators, or you can't use your Nightfall effects, but like you always want to keep Diana. There are very rare matchups you don't keep it. Like I wouldn't keep it against Shadow of Freyord in the early game because you're not really killing anything with it for the most part. But in most matchups, you want to be seeing this card. It gives you a really, really good early game to just kill their unit in the early game, and you're just ahead from the get-go. All right. I guess, okay, final thing is use it with Cygnus the Moonstalker, which we'll get to. It can push for, like, huge amounts of damage. Cygnus the Moonstalker, give me an ally elusive this round, so you can give the Dyna elusive when she has her level up form, 7+ attack, whatever, 9, 11 attack, plus, and then you kill them really easily. All right. Evershade Stalker. Okay, so this card is experimental-ish. I've liked it personally. I'm not saying you need to play it. I just think it's neat. It's a good one-of because it gives you infinite refuel. Yes, it's not like you're getting real cards. You're just getting more 2/2s with Nightfall. But there's a point in the game sometimes where you can just play like 5 of these really easily, and your opponent can't deal with it every single turn in the later parts of the game. It is very good with Nocturne's level ability. I guess we'll just real quick. When he's leveled up, other allies have Fearsome. There's already a Fearsome. When you play a unit, give enemies -1/-0 this round. So you can like -1/-0 over and over again, and their whole field can't block the Fearsomes, and you kill them. But I just think this is a cute one-off. Again, it's not mandatory, but it's mostly just there for like the late game where you can just play like 4 in 1 turn for 1 card. Like, yes, you'll have other cards. This deck doesn't run out of steam that easily. It's just an alternate win con, I guess. It's a solid one-off, again. You see more often on Stalking Shadows, so yeah. I like it. Next card, Lunar Shade Stalker. Alright, so this is one thing I want to say. I'm only running 2. The reason I'm only running 2 is I wanted to fit 3 onto Dusk, a Cygnus, and Evershade Stalker. You could honestly cut Evershade Stalker and just go to 3 of this, but I had to cut a card to fit everything I wanted, and this just so happened to be it, because drawing multiples can be awkward sometimes. But yeah, Nightfall, grab me Elusive, pretty straightforward. Can give you the Elusive win con. Off Stalking Shadows, you can get a lot of these, and just chip for damage over time, especially with the fights as well. This deck can have many different win cons. You got Nocturne as a win con, Doombeast, Cygnus, the Flight and Lunari, like the Elusives, just general beatdown with the Stygians and stuff, so... yeah, Lunar Shade Stalker is just a generically good card. I usually play it later than turn 2. Like, using a Onto Dusk, not On Dusk, I'm sorry, Dust Petal Dust from Lunari Dustbringer to place on turn 2 is very average. I feel a lot of times you have to trade in the early game, so it's just a generic 2/3 that trades sometimes, so... I usually use just later in the game, which is fine for it to be a 2 of, because double drawing is, you know, kind of awkward. Yeah, good card though, good card though. Good card, good card. Mountain Goat, this card's amazing in this deck. 2 mana, 3/2, Strength, create a gem in hand. Okay, so a gem's a Nightfall activator. It's obviously just a 1 mana focus speed card. Heal an ally, grant it +1/+0. Again, focus speed. Can't be cost in combat, or other spells are pending. Or it can't be used in response to combat or spells. But this is just a Nightfall. It's a 2 mana card that gives you Nightfall activators. It also puts them the pressure, because on turn 2, if you play it, they don't have an answer for it. Let's say they have like Eye of the Dragon or something, and you attack with it. Then you're just getting multiple gems, and these will be very beneficial later for the easy Nightfall activators. And buffing your elusives can be helpful. You can buff Diana Kill things, buff elusives, chip more damage. You can buff Crescent Guardian, because he is Overwhelm, Stygian, you know, whatever. Push more damage, so very good. Very good. Alright, 3 Cascade. Give an ally +1/+1 from this round. Nightfall, draw 1. Easy. +1 health. Helps live through missing shots and stuff like that. Helps win combat trades with the attack. Push more damage. Yes, it's a lot better at +2, obviously, but it's still one of the better cards, or if not one of the best cards in Targon, so very good. And it helps level up Diana and stuff. All right, Stalking Shadow. This card, okay, this card is like one of the best cards in the whole deck. Straight up, this card is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, it's just good in like most decks it's in. It's an amazing card. But this card's a Nightfall activator by itself. So 2 mana burst speed. Again, that activates Nightfall. So you can pick a follower, create a real copy, and an ephemeral copy. There are a lot of cards in this deck that, if they're ephemeral copies, they're basically the same as real copies-ish. So, if you get the Flight, doesn't die off ephemeral, you still get to draw 1 and shuffle in your deck. If you get Doombeast off this, that's 4 drain. You can take 4 health away from their Nexus and add 4 to yours. One of the biggest closers in this deck is Stalking Shadows into Doombeast to get all kinds of the drain. This card is phenomenal. I mean phenomenal off Stalking Shadows. The ephemeral copy can push for 4 damage, or even block for 4 damage. Just a 1 mana 4 attack blocker with ephemeral. So that it ruins their attack. I'll get in that second actually. But you can push for 8 damage with the 2 of these. All right. So how do you max value this card? Is I guess what I want to say. You mostly want to use the ephemeral copy on defense because it's already going to die anyway, right? So let's say you get Doombeast, right? And your opponent's going to make a huge attack this turn. You just play the ephemeral Doombeast. They're going to attack this turn, because if they don't, they just lose their whole attack, and then that's an amazing trade for you, right? So the ephemeral copies are very good on defense. They're already going to attack, so you know you're going to block. So you're kind of getting max value out of your ephemerals, because it's getting a real trade with a unit. You can, of course, use them if you're going for game on offense, but I really think they're good on defense. Especially the later the game goes. if you use an ephemeral copy like early in the game, let's say it's like turn 4 or something, and you play ephemeral Doom Beast, it'll probably just end, and then you're like, oh, I just lost a lot of mana and my Doom Beast died. But if it's like turn 7 plus, where like each combat from them and you is a pivotal swing in the game's tempo, playing the ephemeral defense, they're gonna attack, or else they just lose their whole turn. So ephemeral is really good on defense. So that's how you use this card. All right, on to Dusk. This is the new prize gem of Nightfall. Very good. One thing I want to note before I forget: this card levels Diana so easily. I already said I think Diana is really good, but her level up form is very powerful. All right, so let's read it. 2 mana burst. Okay, draw 1, so you do that no matter what. Nightfall. Activate an ally's Nightfall effect, ignoring any targeted portion. So if you activate a Nightfall effect with this, right, then it's 2 for her level up. So you get way closer to her level up. If you're already there, it gives her +4 attack, which is insane. So that's really good to make Diana strong in this form and kill big units or push for game / level her up easily. What do you use this on? Like, what does this mean? Ignoring any targeted portions? That means you can't... It won't, like, so this grant enemy vulnerable, it won't do that. That targets a card. It won't do... What else will it not do? Oh, it won't do Cygnus. Give me an ally elusive this round. She'll still get elusive this round, but you can't target your own card to get elusive this round. So, what do you use this on mostly? It's very good on Doom Beast to do the drain, right? So you draw a card no matter what, which is cool. But then you also the drain 2 from the Nexus. This gives you even more win cons with Doom Beast, because a lot of times this deck can pack on pressure and like damage with Stygians and the elusives, and you get down to like round 4 or 6, and it's very easy to kill them with Doom Beast and Onto Dusk and Stalking Shadow on the Doom Beast. So that's good. It's kind of cute sometimes. This is a permanent grant, so if you're pushing for damage and you want to draw a card anyway just to like cycle, then you can give this +2 more attack permanently while you attack Onto Dusk. Using on Diana is fine, especially if you have her. Like a lot of times, you'll have her. She kill a unit at level 1 form, and then she's just sitting there waiting to level up, and you can use this on her. And A, she gets really close to leveling up. B, it gives her the challenger again, so that's very good. So I like it on Diana. Stygian's cool too, because you also get the +2 for the round. That's just like to burst for game type thing. So it's pretty good. Great card overall. I usually use it for its second effect with Nightfall, but if you need it as a Nightfall activator, it is a 2 mana burst speed draw 1. The reason it's important is that burst speed cards are amazing as Nightfall activators because they don't give your opponent action, so you can just do a Nightfall activator then a Nightfall effect immediately. So very well-rounded card, very good. It's nice. I think that it does all kinds of things in this deck. All right, where are we? Crescent Guardian, generic, 5/3 with Overwhelm, Nightfall, or 3/3 with Overwhelm, Nightfall granted +2/+0 becomes a 5/3 with Overwhelm. The health stat's good, 3, and 5 attack. It usually ships for damage. It's pretty solid to ship for damage. I like it a lot, especially with Nocturne, because you can get something vulnerable and then make sure this is the one attacking there. I'll get to that when we get to Nocturne. But it's good generic chip for damage. I like it a lot. Good stats. Doom Beast, this is one of the stars of the show as well. Nightfall, drain 2 from the Nexus. Yeah, so you heal till they lose 2. Very good versus aggro. Because they lose all their hard work on the damage in the Nexus. Very good to close out games versus anything. One of your win cons is the reaches deck gives with the Stalking Shadows, what have you, Onto Dusk and stuff with the Doom Beast. Very good. All right, Nocturne. So this is one of the big game winners of the deck. This card's insane. Obviously, I said obviously. In my opinion, I think it's underrated. I guess it's not. Some people do think it's underrated. I think this card's good. This card's underrated in my opinion. Sorry. All right, Nightfall. Grant an enemy vulnerable and give enemies -1/-0 this round. Okay, so it already is like removal, but more importantly, it pushes for game with this by giving everything fearsome. Now, let me explain why I think this card's underrated. People, for some reason, think this card's hard to level, like even in Nightfall, and I just think it's easy to level, so I guess that's where we differ. Let me explain why. So, game starts, right? I'd say like over the course of the game, you chip in like 2 Nightfall attacks, just 2, like just whatever. Like Lunar Shadestalker attacks at 1 point, Crescent Guardian attacks at 1 point, maybe an Onlooker, like whatever. You're 2 out of 5, right? So this has to attack with 5 Nightfall allies. It includes itself. So basically, let's say the game, you attack with the Shadestalker and a Crescent Guardian. The next turn you attack, you have like this, and you attack with everything. That's 5 out of 5. You had 2 out of 5 earlier, then the 3 in the field, including itself, and then it levels so easily. So what you do is you give vulnerable to their unit that is a fearsome blocker, like whatever, let's say they have a field of weenies that block. and then one of them has like 5 attack. You hook the one that has 5 attack, and then you take it to the side with your weakest unit so that you push the most amount of damage. All your units get fearsome. They can't block any of them because they're fearsome, and they all can't block the fearsome units. So you hook the one that could, and you just kill them, and you push for like 15 damage in one turn. It's pretty insane a lot of the time. So that's just one thing. It gives enemies -1, -0, so a lot of things that could block fearsome can't anymore. It's similar to Onlooker, staging Onlooker, where you want to make it like near the end of your turn. So the more units they develop, the more it gets -1, -0. So you can like bait them out with, like by playing Crescent Guardians or like the Flights or whatever like that, and then kind of make them put blockers on the field, and you make them all -1, -0 attack. Hook away again, hook away the fearsome with your weakest unit, attack for the most amount of damage, you could win. I like this with Crescent Guardian, as I said, because since he has Overwhelm, you can the guy that's getting hooked they still take damage from that trade too, because the Overwhelm chips for damage. His level up form, very good. Other allies have fearsome. When you play a unit, give enemies -1, -0 this round. It's good defensively because it makes their attack way weaker. Good offensively because then they can't block your fearsomes or get bad trades. Chance spell's good. Nocturne Unspeakable Horror. Drain 1 from anything. Create a Nocturne in your deck. Nightfall. Create a random non-champion Nightfall card in hand. I don't main this, but it is a good card, especially against like Zoe and 1 health units. So good chance spell. Good card. Easier to level than I think people realize. Good card. All right, last but not least, this card is amazing. I think this card's better than Atrocity before anyone asks, like, oh, where was Atrocity? I straight up think this is better than Atrocity. Straight, I always have. Maybe I always will. I don't know. Cygnus the Moonstalker, Nightfall, give me and an ally elusive. This card is so insane. You already get 5 damage just by it with elusive, so it's already a finisher by itself. But you can give, like, Nocturne elusive, it's 11 damage. Give Diana elusive, she can get bigger at level 2 form. That can push for, like, I don't even know, like, 11 plus damage or whatever. This card is very easy to do 10 damage. You put on Crescent Guardian. So this is just insane. You can also do a thing I like to do where you, like, let's say you have Diana, Cygnus, and Crescent Guardian. You give Crescent Guardian the elusive, and then you use Diana and hook away their elusive blocker, and you push for 10. And you hook away the elusive blocker so they can't block you. So this card is pretty insane. I think it's just better than Atrocity. Yes, like, they can block with elusives, but one big perk is this is a one-of. Again, to fit Atrocity in this deck, let's say I, like, cut this. I don't have one Atrocity. I could cut this too, but Atrocity's brickier, and you can see this more often with Stalking Shadows. This lets you see your finisher more often, even though it's just a one-of. So it's a low deck building cost to have, a huge bomb to finish with, whereas Atrocity's not, like, searchable, even though you don't always get it off this, but you know what I mean. And it gives you 2 of them. It doesn't matter that Ephemeral because you're attacking for game. So not only when you Stalking Shadows for Cygnus, you see it more often to finish the game with, but you get 2 of them. So you have 2 chances to push for, like, 10 plus damage. Yeah, this card is amazing. I've won infinite games with this card, and I'm not trying to be results-based. You want to be theory-based. In theory, I think it's better than Atrocity also. They lose to different things. Like, this loses to elusive blockers and Hush, where Atrocity loses to, like Flash. I don't know. This thing goes wider. This thing, I guess the biggest difference what they lose to is, like, Vengeance and, like, a Flash freeze and stuff. That will render a Atrocity useless, where this Cygnus divides the damage into 2 different units, so that if one chips enough, you win. And if not, you have another one through Stalking Shadows, but, So yeah, so this is very good. Alright, this was longer than I thought it was going to be. What cards could I play instead? Fading Memories. Pick a follower, create it from your far copy in hand. This is a 0-mana Nightfall activator. Very good. Testing the fight over it, but I love this card. Atrocity, I wouldn't run. I mean, you can run if you want, I guess, but I prefer Fitness. Stacy Sketcher, not as good as looks in this deck. It is cute. You can discard, like, the pedal off this, and, like, you can discard cards you don't care about off Stalking Shadows, but a 1/1's pretty underwhelming a lot of times in this deck, and whenever you add a card to a deck, you have to understand to cut something, and I think this card's weaker than the cards that will cut. This is a Nightfall Activator, if you want to try that. Nightfall Activator. This can be good to stop lifesteal and refuel. Third one of this, obviously, could be good. This is cute, but I wouldn't play it. Nightfall Activator, though. This is probably one of the highest considerations to play. Drain 1 from anything, Nightfall, create a random non-champion Nightfall card in hand. The reason, there's a few reasons I don't like it. One is it's actually not that live all the time. It is good versus barriers and to kill 1-health units, but they added so many Nightfall cards to the pool that just, like, aren't really good. So it kind of screwed it up. Like, I don't really like the Cloven Way in this deck, or Dusk Rider, and even Moonlight Affliction can be awkward in this deck. I think Moonlight Affliction, the reason I don't run that, I guess we should go there right now, is it's too expensive for a Nightfall deck. Like, the whole point of Nightfall is that, or one of the main points, is you can play multiple cards in one turn and get all their Nightfall effects at a very cheap price. You can explode for, like, 10 plus damage. off like, you know, Stygian, like Doom Beast or whatever, Stygian, Nocturne. And then like Moonlight Affliction just costs 5 to make it so units can't block if you already use Nightfall or Hush something, which isn't really what you need most of the time. So I think Moonlight Affliction is too expensive. The point is, this card, it gives you a lot of stuff that you don't want. I wouldn't run this card in this deck. In Aphelios versions you would, but not in this version. You don't run Skitter. People ask me, but I just don't run Skitter. It doesn't really do enough. Nocturne's better, and every other card's better in this deck. Hush, consideration, but expensive in this deck, and it's hard to cut things again. Even if you cut things, like I would want to add a third one of these, I think. Bastion's cute, but not worth the space. The Fangs is actually decent. This is one of higher considerations as well. Play Invoke Celestial, cost 3 or less. Gives you, it's just a good card. The things that gives you are usually good Nightfall activators and good cards too. Moonlight Affliction I went over. I think it's too expensive for Nightfall personally. And then Atrocity. Yep, that's the deck. Let's get into it. Playing versus Swain Ezreal, this could be tough. A lot of removal in this deck. Siona Mulligan again for this, Slayer Soldier, and Diana. Diana's great. Pretty good. A lot of low-cost cards in our opening hand. This would be good to refuel against all the removal. Stack Shock could be annoying against our Stygians. This matchup could be tough, but it also is winnable. So, I think House Spider is also really annoying. Being able to get, like, he could block this with the 1/1 and this with the 2/2. I could open attack here to not be greedy and just chip in 2 damage. If I'm gonna do that, we already have Nightfall activators, so we don't need the gem. And if he has House Spider, it'd be annoying because obviously I just have the blocking. Yep. The thing is that this deck has no healing, like in these classes, so the 2 damage does matter. We'll just pass here. Banking mana is pretty important. The spell mana, you need a lot of time in this deck. These are going to trade anyway. Like when I attack, he's going to block with this, so there's no reason to delay it and take 1 extra damage. It's a trade that will happen. I feel I want to use Dust Petal here because if I'm going to use a Nightfall activator, I want to make sure I get a Nightfall card in. That's fine by me. 4 mana on my 3 mana card. Don't mind that. Alright, Diana, that's pretty good. We have a few options here. We could do like this. Don't know why we do that. This is what we want to do no matter what, but what's the Nightfall activator here? Stalking Shadows or Mountain Goat? I'm going to go with Mountain Goat. I think that's 4 mana. Hopefully no more House Spiders here. Oh, how bold of you. Dang, do I save this? This is so much more important. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll save Pale in case he's another Mystic Shot. I feel like the fact that he used that Mystic Shot so recklessly means he has another one, because like that was very reckless of him. Okay, so we have Pale. Draw a card, stay alive. He's tapped out, so he can't use Ravenous Flock or anything. We get to kill the House Spider for free, which is otherwise a thorn in our side. Alright, cool. Very good. We get to refuel next turn with Stalking Shadows. We hit Doom Beast or something like that. We can do 2 more damage. He's passing. Interesting. We'll play Stalking Shadows. What do we pick? This can burst with huge damage. This is probably beefier. Like, this is more... it's more use from our mana. It's more beef. Click OK. If he passes again, he just loses the mana. Alright, we bank 3. He loses 2. Pretty good. Ooh, good chance spell. Alright, Nightfall Activator. Now all of our cards are on Nightfall up. Or whatever we want to call them. We don't want to play the Ephemeral one. Again, better on defense. But we'll definitely play the real one. Because it'll stick on the field. It gives us field control. The Ephemeral one is 3 mana for a card that will die. If we have 1 more mana, I'd probably play it just to push for damage. But maybe. But here, the real one for sure. Alright, we have Diana again, right? Yeah. Probably so much removal. Is it worth playing Diana? Sure. Well, yeah, sure. We'll play it. It pushes for a good amount of damage. I kind of like this. The only reason I wouldn't want to is that maybe if I didn't, he wouldn't be able to use all his mana and get mana screwed, but I think he'll be fine. Regardless. This is a good turn to push with this. I think we need the refuel. At least I want the refuel. It's probably dead, yeah. Sure. I want to draw a card anyway, because I do like the refuel. This could be a good time to use On the Dusk, and this is going to push for the extra damage. If he had removal for this, he would have already used it. So he's going to take 9 here from these. That's a lot of damage. And he's way behind on cards. Like, including the flight, will draw us a card in hand. Yep. End round loses more mana. We use all our mana. So we're up in health, up in cards, up in the field. Very good. Start the day. Play this, see what we get. Any reach is good. So the fight's good here because he's getting to the point where he needs to answer our cards or he's going to die. And these will all just chip for 2 damage. This is good as a blocker for this, so I'll play this now. Also chip for 2, he gets to 7. Very good. We can end this round and just bank 3 spell mana. It's 3 out of 5, so we're going to level it when we attack with this plus like whatever. Overall in a very, very dominating? I don't know. We're winning. We're winning the game by a lot. We're in a good spot. A dominating position. Okay. Talk to me. Talk to me. Let's see. Yeah, so this will go in the deck and draw a card before it dies from Ephemeral. Sure. Yep. It's fine. He's very low on cards and mana. Alright. I guess we'll play the... It doesn't matter which one we play, really. Like, this one, the only reason I would think about it is, like, if we want to stick something on the field, this one will die. So we're forced to attack with it. But that could be better if we're no attack with it. I guess we'll leave our options open. Crescent Guardian. It's good. Put on the pressure. He might just concede soon. Okay. So, again, you want to play this, like, let this last. Same with Stygian Onlooker to bait things out. Now we've done the baiting of things. So here we do this. This can't block anymore. The -1, -0 makes it so that it can't block Fearsomes. This will level if we attack with both of these. We can use like the... I want to show you. This is game by itself. Oh. This is game by itself and hard to deal with than killing this, but I think we still should try and get the trade anyway. I'm just showing. We can even On the Dusk like on this. I'm assuming you can't kill this. All right, this should be GG. Should be GG. So again, the -1, -0 on this means this can't block. These will trade. On the Dusk on this is damage. Good game. Very good. All right, it seems we stumbled upon a Nightfall mirror. Usually a Nightfall, I consider whoever has more Dianas the winner. At least that's how I used to think about it. I play Nightfall a lot. I'm gonna go like this. Nightfall Activator. Diana's amazing. Yeah. So the thing about Diana is, like, if you play yours early, they can Diana and kill your Diana. But if they don't have Diana, you get so far in the early game. I'm going to be greedy and play mine and hope they don't have there. I actually don't know. Then if you have 2 Dianas, you can, like, they Diana, you're Diana there. It comes to, in my opinion, who has more Dianas. I don't know how much this matchup's changed, but we'll see. We block at the beginning because we don't want to take 2 for no reason. This is good. Also, it enabled our Mountain Goat to, like, he has to block this now, like, with something else. Lenari would have been a good blocker. See, I would have blocked there if I were him. I think people value the flight so much in some weird way where they want him to attack. Like, I don't even think attacking with the flight here is even good. Like, what does it even get you? It just goes away. Like, yes, you draw a card, but you're losing field control. So he goes even a card advantage, but minus, like, you lose the field control. So it's generally a neg to attack, especially in the early game where it's not that important. Okay. Sure. Doom Beast. I see you. I kind of just want to bank the mana. Not gonna lie. I could also just Dustped on the Crescent Guardian. I don't want to, like, let him do too much damage to us. Next time we can the flight into Diana. Hopefully he attacks with both. Pretty cool. Or at least this. Very good. Please. Damn. Okay, I was hoping you attack with it and just lose field control. He's smarter than that, it appears. Alright. We get the fight here. Pretty good. Or not crazy, but the fact that we get a Nightfall here is good. Alright, so he plays the ephemeral copy of our card, the one he got Fading Memories. We're just going to ignore that. Probably really won't make a big attack here. Can just get rid of this guy. Well, He has Pale Escape, he get punished. Let's get rid of this guy. Let's get rid of this guy. Play it safe. This will die in the end. We're not going to attack anything else. Not even this, because, again, I don't want to just lose it. We should save this for a huge swing. So now we're really far ahead on the board at this point. Pretty good. That's a good blocker. / Nightfall activator. Very nice. 2 out of 4. Okay. Diana, no! Okay. I don't really mind that. It's not a huge deal to me. Play this. See what happens. Very good. Alright. I'm going to play Doombeast now, because if he passes, we'll lose a lot of mana. I mean, to be fair, if he passes, it's not even really good for him, because he just would lose his Diana attack, but I'm still going to play it here. I really want to make sure that I get a good open attack. Sure. So he draws a card, levels Diana, and drains 2. That's pretty good. It's cool playing the mirror right now, because it can show you, like, why Nightfall is good from 2 perspectives. He's able to pull something like this off. It's cool to show. He's definitely kill our Diana, because obviously it's free kills whoever leaves her Diana in the field. Can just kill things for free. Alright, we're up in card advantage by a good bit, especially with Stalking Shadows, but we still need more. Need more power. I think we need more beef, substance. I like to hold this when we're going for game. This is a huge push. But again, it's like, this is so much more important for the finishing of the game. I'm just to play Crescent Guardian. This is going to be a problem. That's the downside of playing Dyna early. It's like, if you have a Dyna for the Dyna, you're set. If they have Dyna for your Dyna, you don't, you're screwed. But I also like playing it early because I like to just be greedy and get the tempo early like that. That's really annoying. Death from real blocker. So he knows. He knows. He gets it. We do need to draw a card, actually. Do I attack with everything? Doesn't even seem that good. Alright, let's put this on here. We have Nightfall activators for later with this. Attacking like this allows us to hopefully get some chip damage in and try and finish with Cygnus. This is actually good. Like, I know it sucks for losing a 3-mana card or 1-mana Ephemeral he got for Stalking Shadows, but chipping for 4 is huge. Like, him going to 5 it definitely puts us in range of lethal. And we're drawing the fight again at some point, so. Another perk is that, oh wow, that's really good. Another perk is that he already used a lot of Doom Beast, right? And we know he got Stygian Onlooker off Stalking Shadows, so he might be running out of steam. I'm gonna on this now on this to get him weaker before, like, we're at a spot where we can't do that. Let's say next turn he just burst speed, Nightfalls, and open attacks it or something. We wouldn't be able to get our Nightfall effect up onto dust. So putting him at 3 is a big deal. So now we're ahead in cards, and we're ahead. Oh god, we're ahead in cards, and we're ahead in damage by a lot. This seemed to be going quite well. These series of events. So what is blocking? I want to use this on offense. Yeah, we'll just play this. Keep it simple, I guess. I'm not sure what he's capable of right now. He could have Nocturne. Okay, that's very good. If he hits Doom Beast, then he's in such a good spot to come back. But it's a low chance, very low chance. He get lucky at Doom Beast because is annoying for elusive blockers because he already used 2 Doom Beasts. Yeah, I mean we'll just play this. It's annoying for him because now he can't attack with this without losing the trade. So this kind of ruins some of his attack, and it fixes our mana to where we're not just losing much of mana. Alright. I mean, I'm not too threatened, I feel. Sure, that's good. Okay, this is really bad for him. Getting rid of this elusive blocker is really scary considering that he's at 3, and if I have elusive attackers, which I do, and he knows I have the flight. He doesn't know I have Cygnus, which is a big deal. But, you know, if you want to play around Cygnus, he needed to keep the elusive blockers. Because this can hook an elusive blocker, and then we'll just play another one. Honestly, I can give him less actions by playing this now. We can just immediately Dust Petal into Cygnus, or Gem into Cygnus. There's I'll explain which one's better and why. Oh, wow. There's 2 trade-offs here, right? If we do this one, we're kind of losing our important Nightfall activator for later. Like, we're probably going to gem this turn before I drew this. But it leaves our options open to do this one first. But if we use both in one turn, again, we lose our Nightfall activators. I'm probably just going to play both of these. Or this and this, because it pushes more damage than the gem. But if we didn't draw this, I think I would have done the same thing. I would have done Dust Petal, just do what he does, then Cygnus, and then Gem, and then attack. Okay, so we're going to put this on here, because you don't need to do the extra damage on Dana. This will go for game, but this will hook away his elusive blocker, right? Yeah. So this hooks the elusive blocker away, attack elusives, and GG's. Alright, everyone, that's my Nightfall guide. Hope you enjoyed it. Rank 1 NicMakesPlays, Nightfall back at it, haha, whatever. But I do think it's actually pretty good right now. You saw it's explosive. I like it. I think I could see it being amazing. We have a patch in a few days, and you know they're not going to patch these cards, so this could be even better. I hope this could push tier 1. It's super fun, super explosive, and I've had a lot of people tell me that Nightfall is the most fun they've had playing Legends of Runeterra, so I do hope that this is a helpful deck guide for you, enjoyable, whatever. Let me know how you feel about the deck, whatever you want in the comments. Feel free to follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/NicMakesPlays. Live 6:30 p.m. EST every day. You can see me play these decks live, but have a good one, everybody. See you next video. Peace.